Hi people, I'm the average Scot consumer and I've been using this Google Home Hub, or Google Nest Hub as it's now called, for a few months, and that's after upgrading from the Google Nest Mini. So is it worth the upgrade, and also can I understand a Scottish accent? So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, and also please consider subscribing to my channel for some more personal and home and kitchen technology videos. So when you finally get this out of the box, it feels like a really well made product. It's got a nice weight to it as well, and that, along with this rubber grip on the bottom, means that it's not going to move when you touch the screen in whatever surface it's sitting on. And that makes it harder to accidentally knock it over or slide it off the end of a table. On the back you have the volume buttons on the right hand side, the power inlet at the bottom, and you also have a mute button at the top so that you can make sure that it doesn't hear anything you're saying if that's what you want. And on the front you have a light sensor and two far field microphones, which is obviously good for picking up your voice at a distance or if there's background noise. And I think these are really good quality, and that is obviously the whole point of a smart speaker. It has to be able to pick up your voice even when there's background noise, and this does it really well. And it's also pretty good at understanding my Scottish accent. I don't know about them all, but definitely mine is okay. Then in the box you get your usual power adapter and also a quick start guide that tells you how to download the Google Home app, which is needed obviously to run this in your home and set it up properly, but the screen will also go through the steps to set it up anyway once you turn it on. So when I first seen this on display in the shop, I was actually surprised at how compact it is. I had just presumed that it would be the size of a normal tablet, but it's not the case. This is it next to a Google Home Mini, and this is it next to a 10-inch tablet as well. And the smaller size really makes it appealing because it's not too big that it's always there standing out, and it's not too small that you can't see the screen clearly and read everything that comes up. And speaking of the screen, it's a 7-inch LCD touch display, and it's a nice sharp picture. It's not as good as a high-end mobile phone like an iPhone or a Pixel, but it's still a really nice display, and anything that shows the pictures or videos, it's nice and clear as well. But the best feature for me in terms of the screen is the ambient EQ light sensor, and that's in the front of the screen, and this basically ensures that whether your room is light or dark, it'll adjust the screen accordingly. And that's really important because for me, you don't want this overpowering your room. You want it to blend in so that when you need it and when you're using it, it's there and visible, but when you don't need it or when you're not using it, it's just blending into the rest of the room and it's not too big or obtrusive.
Welcome to your Google Nest Hub. It has the Google Assistant built in.
Hi, how can I...
So when you've finished setting it up on the Google Home app, it then shows you this video which basically outlines some of the features and the general questions and things you can ask, like the weather and the traffic and things like that. And this is really just a starting point because you can then ask it and set up different devices and explore for yourself the type of things that you can do. So other than voice, you have four main options from the home screen, and these are basically controlled by swiping from the top, the left, the bottom and the right. So when you swipe from the left, that basically takes you back to the previous screen. If you swipe from the bottom, that gives you the basic settings like your volume, your brightness, your do not disturb features, things like that. If you swipe from the right, that will give you your feed, which will include news that you're interested in, weather and things like that. And if you swipe from the top, this will take you to your main home hub, which is pretty much the same as the Google Home app on your phone. And this is where you can look at all your devices in your home. You can view it by room or by device, such as your lights, your thermostats, everything like that. And this is where I think a smart display really comes into its own, because not only is it great for instant access to YouTube, music videos and that kind of thing, you also get that visual feedback. And for me, the Nest Hub has become the centre point for my smart home. And that's quite an important point, because if you don't have a lot of other devices which feed back to your Nest Hub, then you're going to be lacking in a lot of features, which is also the beauty, ironically, of having a smart home. The more things you add to it, the more features you get and the better it becomes. And that obviously includes things like your doorbells, your room thermostats, your bulbs, your smart sockets, CCTV cameras as well. So the more you add, the better it is. And an example of that all working together at the same time, or being controlled by the Google Nest at the same time, is with routines. And you can do routines through the Nest Hub or the Google Home app on your phone as well. And an example of that is bedtime routines, and you can customise all the settings, but one of them is that when you say good night, it will turn off all your sockets, your lights, your thermostat will go down to a set temperature that you've selected. So you can customise it all just by giving one command yourself. The Google Nest device will give multiple commands to multiple devices at the same time. So even if you don't have a lot of other smart devices that will link back to your Nest Hub, you will still get value out of it. And this is by using it for things like music, for videos, for YouTube, for the weather, for your traffic information and that kind of thing. And obviously I would expect a lot of people who start with something like this will probably progress and buy more smart devices in the future. But just before I finish, one of the things I really was disappointed in was the sound quality of the speakers. Now, on their own, I would say it's pretty decent, but at the same time, I've upgraded from a Nest Mini, and I have a first generation and a second generation, and the sound quality on both of them is better than the Nest Hub, which I was really surprised at, because being a more premium product, a higher price tag and the bigger version basically of a Mini, I was expecting it to be better in every aspect, but that wasn't the case. So if you're using this for great sound quality and listening to a lot of music, you might be best going for the Hub Max, which not only includes a bigger screen and a built-in camera for video calling, it has 2 speakers for stereo sound and a built-in subwoofer. So the sound quality is going to be massively improved, but it comes at a premium price. So to sum up, if you're looking for a smart display, then this is one that you really can't go wrong with. And if you're someone like me who's upgrading from just a smart speaker, then the visual feedback that you get from using a smart display really makes a big difference. And also generally using it to watch music videos, YouTube and that kind of thing really gives it value if you're going to use it in that way. But as I said, if you're going to be listening to a lot of music on this, then it's maybe not the best speakers that you can get for this type of product. So if you liked this video, or you found it helpful for your decision to get a smart speaker or a smart display, then please hit that like button. I'm the Average Scot Consumer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.